Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 34 and today we are starting things off outside my base. Now, I was speaking to Grian the other day because, as you guys know, we did a kind of episode where we both tore each other's bases, we were doing some fun stuff, we were having a meeting about projects for Architect, and he mentioned a few ideas that he'd had to actually improve my base area just a tiny bit, and I have to say, I really like them. Adding the dark colour, the contrast colour in, has improved this build massively, and I wonder if we've got a little bit of grey in there. I feel like maybe we could actually get that in on this build as well. But also, I asked him to check out whether or not, those are phantoms, I should probably be wary of those, whether or not it would look good going around the outside of the disc. And I have to say, I don't know. Now, it does look cool. But I don't know if I prefer this. I really don't know. I might have to do a poll. Yeah, there'll be a poll on the screen right now. Do you prefer the cyan, I think that's cyan terracotta, potentially? Or do you prefer the dark one or the icy one? Yeah, let me know via that poll. That'd be really helpful. Actually, while we're on the topic of polls, geometric is the one that won. So we're going to be having a geometric island. We're going to be doing some serious changes to this place. We're actually going to be cutting parts of it out. We're going to be changing the entire shape of the island. So that is going to be an enormous project that requires tons of planning, basically. We're going to have to put a lot of time into this one. Anyway, to start off today's Hermitcraft episode, what I want to do is a 1-hour resource gathering session where I try and get as many resources for our storage system as possible. I have no idea how well this is going to go, but I definitely think this is necessary. Now, in today's super fast Timelapse chat, I want to talk to you about something very strange that has happened recently that has totally just come out of nowhere. I now have a viral cat video. Or at least a semi-viral cat video. So let me just backtrack here. When I first got my cat Benji, when he was a kitten, I was just goofing around. I was filming the stuff that he was doing just because kittens are cute, and I thought I'd share. I thought I'd share the experience of having a new kitten with the internet, and I posted them onto my second channel, which has now become the filming channel, but originally it was just the second channel, just for goofy videos. And one of the videos is called "I Think My Cat Is Broken." It had about 200,000 views up until about 2 weeks ago, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, it has just blasted off, and it is getting tons upon tons of views. And it started slow. I mean, I saw this happening, and I was like, oh, that's strange. Like, that video is kind of getting maybe 20, 30,000 views a day, but then over the past 4 or 5 days, it's been getting like 100,000 views a day, and it is currently sat at 1.1 million views. So can anyone explain? Has anyone watched it recently? Has anyone seen it in their recommended feeds? I don't know what's going on. I'm not in control of this, but that video has now taken off. So there we go. I can add that to my list of YouTube achievements. Get a viral cat video. That was actually a little over an hour and 45 minutes of item gathering and things, but as you can see, we are now sorted with everything. So we have got all of this stuff. We have got all of this. We have got all of this section all sorted as well, and we have got pretty much all of this section apart from end rods, I think ender pearls and end stone. So that's something that we're actually going to have to go and get. You know what? Should I go and get those now? How difficult are those to get? Alright, the end stone was pretty simple. I imagine the ender pearls are also going to be simple enough, as long as I'm sensible about how I do it. I seem to be attracting a lot of ender... I don't remember looking at this many endermen, to be quite frankly honest with you. What's going on? And... that was terrifying. Now, that does something. How do I make a popped chorus? This is something I've never done before. Apparently you put it inside a furnace. So, that is part 1 completed. The other part is we need blaze rods. So I guess I'm going to have to go out on a hunt for those. I gotta say... I don't know if I'm quite cut out for gathering up blaze rods. Oh, see, that was easy enough. And this guy doesn't seem too upset either, and he has definitely left a blaze rod up there. The only thing is, I actually have to try and go and get it without being knocked off into the lava, which could be interesting. So we now have, the blaze powder, we have the blaze rod here, so that can all go, and then we also have the end rod, the ender pearl. The end rod goes somewhere here, and then we've got the end stone right there. Done. We are done. We still need to do all of the coloured stuff, though. I mean, we need to get all the dyes. You know, now that there's loads of fish in the ocean, it's actually becoming increasingly difficult to find squid. And that cheeky guy, after I go out and locate him, doesn't even have the decency to drop an ink sac. Dear Scar, last season I was given a free terraforming pass as payment for my redstone door I built in your base. Finally, I wish to redeem it. My island needs to be geometricified. I think that's a word, I'm not 100% certain, but I feel like it explains what we need doing. I can share more details in person, as it is tricky to explain. Mumbo. Right, I am at Scar's nether portal. I mean, I'm 100% certain that this is Scar's nether portal, and by the way, I mean, it's gorgeous, and that volcano is totally ridiculous. And I'm going to put this in a chest here, and I'm going to say, read, please. Okay, I think that should do the trick. Oh, would you look at that? Grian's come by and actually done the thing that I spoke about earlier in the episode. So he swapped out all of the light grey with the cyan terracotta in this build, and I must admit, it does actually, it's made a massive difference. I'm excited to see what he does with this thing, because we all know that I've had a lot of struggles with this, and he had some pretty cool ideas when I spoke to him the other day. Oh, I feel like I should quickly clarify. Grian isn't just coming by without permission and just changing up my builds. We discussed in our episodes that I'm going to come over to his base and I'm going to help him out with some redstone projects that he needs a hand with, and Grian is going to help me out with a few little building details that I'm struggling with on my base. So essentially, we're going to improve each other's bases so that they both work perfectly for us. I think that made sense. Did that make sense? I feel like that made sense. By the way, this stone mining session has been hugely profitable and also quite dangerous. Where on earth did he come from? Now, another thing that Grian and I are working on is a little messaging system that will allow us to send messages between each other's bases, and it will kind of pop up on a little redstone lamp. Now, I think he's actually in the process of working on the tube. I'm fairly certain that I saw some glass stretching across underneath the water there. So I thought I would build up, or at least place down the blocks for the area in which I'm going to receive them. And I mean, I don't imagine it's going to be particularly very big. I might actually just put it in this little section. Maybe a few blocks further along. And then, yeah, have it dotted next to this island. But to be honest, I don't actually know what's going to happen with this island just yet. In fact, I feel like that's something that we should work out. So we need to work out where the borders of this island are actually going to be. And now that I'm looking, whoa, this is actually quite big. So if we were to kind of chop this off, let's do like a cut. Let's just cut across where we think the edge of the island should be. Maybe a little bit further back than that. So if we were to chop along here, then that would give us a good impression of how we want the island to look, because then it's going to come back across here to make it just a tiny bit more uniform in shape. Now, how would that look? I think that would look much cooler. I think having that like that will look much cooler, and that means that all of this would then need to go, and then we'd probably have to round off this edge just a tiny bit more, but we could kind of do some finessing. And then another thing that I thought I'd do is maybe fill in this gap just a tiny bit more, and also fill in this gap just a tiny bit more, so it's just a little bit more kind of, it's just a better shape. So you know what, I think we should just get to it. I'm just gonna start taking out the blocks. I have no clue how long this is going to take. It's been forever and a day since I've done any form of large scale removal of islands. So let's just start wiping out the blocks and we'll see what happens. One thing that I will say is that it is incredibly satisfying taking out large areas of grass and dirt. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite things to do. Wait, drowned can walk on land? That is entirely news to me. I 100% thought that they stayed in the sea. Things are going pretty well at this point in time. I'm just over at the laggiest spot on the server. Preparing up both my elytra and also my shovel. But yeah, we're doing a pretty decent job at taking out the island. I cannot see a thing. Can you see what's going on? I can't see anything. I would say that is pretty much everything in terms of dirt, gravel, sand removed from the island. Now, I still don't have any fireworks at this point in time, and this place is probably going to get quite dangerous, but that's kind of like the top layer removed, but there is still tons of stone left. So I'm thinking maybe it might be time that I actually got myself some form of beacon. I mean, that seems like a good move. I even have looting 3 on my sword, so we might be able to get ourselves 3 wither skulls here. Now, apparently, there is a wither skull farm, and I thought it was up there as well, but I didn't actually see any signs for it. And I think Green is now lost too. Thankfully though, he actually knew where he was going, and we've managed to make it here. And now here I am killing with... What? Are the chances of that? Are you serious? What? We got one straight away. Well, that's a very good start. A very, very, very good start. The second wither skeleton I kill on the server drops a wither skeleton head. What? I'm amazed. Oh, that's how this works. That's cool. I like that. Guys, I just got a second one. I mean, this is almost too easy. I mean, really. I'm honestly... So... I don't know what to say. That is the fastest I've ever had 3 wither skeleton skulls. I was here for maybe 20 minutes. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So we've got enough to make a wither. We can actually get ourselves a beacon. Yes, this is amazing. I'm over the moon right now. I can't even talk. I mean, seriously, I was well and truly expecting to be there for about an hour, maybe even 2 hours, because it's just a bit of a grind. So to get that so quickly is helped out just so much. Right, apparently this is a wither killing area. Does this work? I really don't want to get this wrong. Here goes. 1, 2, 3. I am standing as far back as possible. So he is stuck. That seems like... This seems easy. So he's just going to be taking damage and doing his thing. I don't know if I should get involved. Okay, yeah, I seem to be helping the situation too. So this is brilliant. And... there we go. We have got a wither skull. We've got a wither and also another star. Brilliant. Beacon. Finally, we have got ourselves a beacon. You know, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I'm sort of missing my Riptide Trident. I've been spending a lot more diamonds on fireworks since I got rid of my Riptide Trident. I can't believe it, because I non-stop blasted that thing for the entire time that I had it. Whoa! That came out of nowhere! Seriously, I got just absolutely hammered. Oh, and Impulse is having a bad day too. Well, having just about got my items back, I almost lost everything there because the phantoms were, of course, still around. So I was just getting destroyed left, right, and center. We've got a beacon, we've got haste 2, everything's good. But the only thing I don't even have efficiency 5. Hadn't even noticed. So this connects with this, and then we get this. Right, finally, let's take out the rest of the island. And after all that, the beacon's actually too far away for it to be in range. I can't even say it right. Let's move the beacon. Whoa. Maybe I'll wait until the storm passes before I do anything over there. So that is where the island used to be, and this is where it is now. Now this looks a lot better because, of course, that means that our actual city can be a little bit tighter to the edge of the sphere. Originally, it was going to be stretching out like this. It was going to look a little bit strange. Now I think that's going to improve things massively, and it also gives us a lot more scope for different builds. So I've already earmarked this area for our little postal receiving section, so I can expand that out just a tiny bit and maybe push it slightly further in, closer to the edge of the island. And then also, I thought we could build up some form of house off in this area here, because I actually want to have a house this season. I don't think I've ever had a house in any of my previous Hermitcraft seasons. So we'll work out the logistics of that in a little bit, but the first thing that I want to do actually is I want to add in, I kind of want to earmark where the island is actually going to be making its way around. So I think this little gap here is just going to be filled out a tiny bit, and then also we've got another gap on the other side, which is also going to be pushed out a tiny bit too. I think that's pretty good. I've kind of gone back and forth. I've done it a couple times, but that to me looks like a pretty good shape. I am actually wondering, should I fill out this section as well, and then have it meet up with this area, and then almost wrap around as a slightly more circular, almost like another egg. We'll have an egg-shaped island and then a giant egg-shaped base. Before we do anything else with the base though, I mean, I need to get myself some enchantments on these diamond boots. I think partially this episode has been about getting myself actually geared up, because that's not something that I've really focused on at all this season. And, you know, not having a beacon, not having efficiency 5 on my pickaxe, not having any enchantments on my boots, these are things that are unacceptable at this point in the Hermitcraft season. I'm a bit of a... Let's not talk about the fact that I've just accidentally put Unbreaking 1 on my boots. Let's just not mention it. I'd rather if we just preferred not to. I'd just prefer if we didn't mention it. Things could definitely be worse. So we've got Protection 4, Depth Strider 3. I've also got these little mending boots here that I've got lying around. So if we just chuck those on there, that's already pretty expensive. But I mean, what else do I need? All I need is Feather Falling 4 and then I should be okay. So I've just popped back over to the island to just do a little bit more work on how our city is going to be lining up. So this is the mailbox. This is where the mail from Grian and our little messaging unit is going to be. So that's going to be sitting there. That beacon location I actually think is quite good. I think I'm also going to get another beacon off in that area. So we'll have 2 beacons hooked up, and I'll probably do that in the next couple episodes. But then also, I've laid out this octagon. I guess this is an octagon. This is going to be my house. So my base is actually going to be in that area there. Now you can't really see it, but you can see it kind of knits in quite nicely with the other builds. And yeah, I think that's going to end up looking really, really cool. So once we actually remove all of those blocks of stone, which I think I'm actually going to do at some point soon, this build here, yeah, that's going to really finish off this outside edge, and then we can start wrapping around that corner. And by the way, we haven't got any farms in just yet. So there's only, I guess the kelp farm is the only farm we have. We still have to build all of the farms. So this city is going to start to look really, really substantial, which I'm super, super excited for. I thought it would just help the visualization if we actually got rid of all of the platform. Obviously, it's a very rough job. I need to do like a full work. It's going underwater and taking out all of that underside there. But yeah, this gives us a better idea of what this new cut-off island looks like, and also where these builds are going to be. And it's so much better. It's so much better. Thank you ever so much to Grian for giving that suggestion, because it's something that I never would have done. I never would have even thought of doing it, but it's improved things tenfold. Now I thought for this final chunk of today's Hermitcraft episode, I would actually spend an hour or two just in a creative mode testing world, messing around with this geometric style of terraforming. It's just so I have a reference to hopefully send off to Scar to explain to him exactly what I want. Because, you know, it's quite a difficult thing to explain, and it would be nice if I had some form of, I guess, just image, some way that I can actually show off exactly what I want. So I guess we just need to, I'm going to take this kind of chunk of land here, and first off I'm going to have to get rid of, see, no, it's already difficult. My brain isn't allowing this to come together. This looks really cool. So I, as I say, I've just been messing around and I've been playing about with this section. So this is kind of like a slice of the island here that I've created. Well, obviously just a slice of this area of land that I've created. And it's just to play with the concept of almost like just a more blocky style of Minecraft, and I really, really like it. So this is the sort of idea that I have for this island. It's just slightly more geometric. It's almost as if we've turned up the geometricness of a regular Minecraft island by maybe like an extra 300%. So we have big blocks. There's no kind of one block standing, and there's no one block. There's no diagonal edges like that. We have a lot of just stuff going on. You can see what I'm talking about. It's subtly different, but it's clearly different from regular Minecraft terrain, and I really, really like the way that it looks. And the thing that I like as well is that we don't have any sort of grass or anything. The only thing that I am wondering Do you reckon we should mess around with green? Maybe like green this? Do you think that should be like a detail that gets added in? You know what? I'll leave that up to Scar. But I think this is kind of like the concept that I'm going to send off to him, and I'm just interested to hear his thoughts and also your thoughts as well. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately that is all I've got time for today. I'm actually going to go AFK overnight. Well, I'm going to craft up a bunch of kelp blocks, turn those into fuel, fuel up these furnaces and also these furnaces, and then wait for more dried kelp to come in. But I'm not going to show that in the video because that would be really boring, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and filming stuff, you know what to do. Link will be on the end screen.